Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and we have a special deck for you guys today. It is Synchro Thunder Dragons. That's right. Thunder Dragons, a very popular deck, and a very fun deck. Also, a pretty difficult deck to play and to understand. It's got a lot of mechanics behind it, along with the new Synchro engine using Psi Reflector, as well as all of these delicious Synchros. So, let's get into this. Why are we running this? What is this? What's going on, right? How does this deck work? Well, obviously, you know how Psi Reflector, or at least you should know how Psi Reflector works. Psi Reflector, Assault Beast, and a Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. Running one of each of these cards, Assault Mode Activate, Assault Beast, and Assault Mode, or Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, along with just the one Red Dragon Archfiend, along with a bunch of other Synchro monsters. I could probably take this one out for another Red Dragon Archfiend. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter all that much, but let's get into the core of the deck. Now, first things first, Thunder Dragonhawk, you should have 3 of. Gold Sarcophagus, you should have 3 of. I have not yet received 3 of these. I haven't purchased the 3rd Gold Sarc, and I have not been able to roll through the box enough for my 3rd Thunder Dragonhawk. But, yes, you should be playing those at 3. Now, you're probably noticing that this is a 23-card deck randomly. That's just how I like to play it. Honestly, if you wanted to play a 20-card deck, you could take out the Wall of Disruption, you could take out the Cosmic Cyclone, there you go. You could add in your Gold Sarcophagus, your Dragonhawk, and then you could also take out your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, and that's basically how it would work. Or you could keep it in and have a 25-card deck with your extra Dragonhawk and Gold Sarcophagus. Now, since Beatdown was nerfed heavily, Thunder Dragons aren't nearly as good, right? Because they can't get over 3,000, right? Yes, you could still use Beatdown and have it be once per turn, right? To actually try and beat down someone in that one turn, and hopefully it works, right? But ultimately, I just found that it doesn't really work. So instead, the skill that we're using is Baggy Sleeves. Now, what is Baggy Sleeves? It's a skill with Keith. What's his name? What is your name? Bandit Keith. There we go. I was right. It was Keith, but I didn't know what the other part of it was. Bandit Keith. It's a skill with him. But basically, anytime a level 5 or higher monster is destroyed by battle, in your next draw phase, a normal draw gives you 2 cards, right? You can either use that, or you could use Switcheroo, which every time you take 1,000 life points of damage, you can return a card to the deck and draw another one. So, there you go. It can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. So it's pretty good, but Baggy Sleeves also works well. You want to get more cards running through. So, yeah. And then obviously you got, you'd want the triple and triple. But let's talk about how this deck works. So, obviously, since we're using Gold Sarcophagus, it is about banishing our cards, but it's not heavily focused on banishment, right? So let's start with Thunder Dragon Dark, actually. So, this card, quick effect, you can discard this card to add another one from the deck to the hand. If this card is banished, you can add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except Thunder Dragon Dark. You can only use one Thunder Dragon Dark effect per turn and only once that turn, meaning you can't use both in each turn. Meaning, try and use this quick effect card, or quick effect skill, ability, effect, that's what they're called. Try and use the quick effects ability, skill, effect. Oh my Lanta. try and use the quick effect on the opponent's turn so that during your turn you can activate either another one or a different effect from it, right? So, pretty good. Again, you do focus on banishing and stuff like that. Not nearly as much as something like Ritual Beasts, but a little bit. You do have to focus on banishing and stuff like that, right? Moving on, we have Thunder Dragon Hawk, probably one of the best cards within this deck, because you can discard this card from the hand to special summon one of your Thunder Dragon monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, except Thunder Dragon Hawk. If this card is banished or sent to the graveyard, or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck, then draw the same number of cards. This is why we only need to run one of each of these, because you can shuffle them back into the deck, right? So say you have Assault Mode activate in your hand along with your Assault Beast. Well, you banish this card using your Gold Sarcophagus, and then boom, you can shuffle this back into the deck, right? Or say you drew this guy, same thing. Shuffle it back into the deck to draw different cards, right? So, and that's also why it's okay to run more than 20 cards, right? You could shuffle them back, draw new cards, plus you're playing baggy sleeves, and so you're going to be drawing more cards anyway. Okay? So, pretty simple there. Then you have Thunder Dragon Roar. This card, you discard it to add a Thunder Dragon card that is banished or in your graveyard, except Thunder Dragon Roar, right? Any Thunder Dragon card, right? Any of these or this card. We're also playing Thunder Dragon 100 Thunders. Really good card. I hope that we get more eventually. Anyway, if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one Thunder Dragon monster from your deck in defense position, but return it to your hand during the end phase. So this is a great way. You banish this card, and then you summon your Thunder Dragon Hawk, and then your Thunder Dragon Hawk will go back to your hand, allowing you to discard it to special summon this guy back onto the field. Now, this guy is your biggest beater at 2,400, and that's not a lot. That's why we used to play Beatdown with this deck. But now you can't, because Beatdown only works once per turn. So now instead we run Synchros to get over some of the more difficult opponents, right? Red Dragon Archfiend with Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, right? To activate and to beat over things like Cocytus and all of those things that tend to give us a problem. Vermilion Dragon Mech, again, to pop cards on the field. If you need to wipe the field, Black Rose Dragon, there you go. Psyhemoth, again, to take out Cocytus, right? Samurai Destroyer for anything else that seems a little bit difficult, right? You could swing into Fortune Lady Every and just wipe her out and stuff like that. So that's why we run the Synchros now, right? So, overall, and then just Gold Sarcophagus, banish a card from the field, from your deck face up, and then basically what you use this for is just to banish things and activate any of these effects. Now let's talk about Thunder Dragon's 100 Thunders. So it's a trap card, and it's your main trap card, and it's super useful. And you want to search it when you can, but not always. Whoops, I just hit my desk, sorry. So, you target one Thunder type monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can special summon as many monsters with the same name as possible from your graveyard. So this is a potential triple special summon, right? Say you had 3 Thunder Dragon Roars, or 3 Thunder Dragon Darks, or 3 Thunder Dragon Hawks in your graveyard. Activate this, all 3 of them can come onto the field, if your field is empty, right? That's pretty good. The monsters special summoned by this effect are banished when they leave the field. Well, guess what? That doesn't really matter to us because we can get a lot of things from our banish pile using some of these effects, right? So that's not a big deal. Also, while they are face up on the field, you cannot special summon monsters except Thunder type monsters. You can only activate one Thunder Dragon's 100 Thunders per turn. So do keep that in mind. When you activate this, you can't synchro summon while any of these cards are on the field, right? That does come up in a replay, but it ultimately doesn't matter, right? And then the rest of these cards are just tech cards, right? Enemy Controller is super, super good. And you'll see that. You'll see why. Because basically, it doesn't matter if we get a card into the grave, if we get one of these guys into the grave. Because they're pretty easy to recycle and get back onto the field, right? So you can just tribute to take a monster pretty easily, and you'll see me win a couple of duels because of Enemy Controller. So Enemy Controller is really useful. You could also run like Treacherous Trap Hole or anything that's currently limited to 2. But ultimately, I do think Enemy Controller is the better option. Then Wall of Disruption, again, it's kind of just because we don't have the biggest numbers, and this reduces numbers, allowing us to swing in more easily, and actually, destroy cards on the field if they swing in to a wall. And then this just for back row because, again, we don't really have a good way of dealing with back row other than like a black rose. And then there's not really a lot of back row cards that are a big deal right now. So this is probably the one that you could take out the most. I didn't see too much issue with that. There wasn't a lot of people running really back row heavy decks, or I didn't really falter to any really heavy back row decks. So yeah, there you go. That's the deck. Let's hop into some replays. Alright guys, welcome back. So this time we are facing off against a Jaden Yubel. I have no idea why it's Jaden Yubel, but here we go. We open up Gold Sarcophagus, we send the Thunder Dragon to return the 2 cards. The reason I started Thunder Dragon rather than something else is because, once again, we had the Assault Mode Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode activate, or Assault Mode, sorry, within our hand, and I did not want it there. So we returned the Thunder Dragon Hawk, or the Thunder Dragon Hawk, and the Red Dragon to scoop up ourselves the Dragon Roar, Thunder Dragon Roar, and we did get a Psy Reflector. So now, Psy Reflector, we do this combo to get ourselves up the Red Dragon Archfiend. Reveal, Red Dragon Archfiend, Synchro Summon, there we go. And now we do have the Assault Mode in the grave. We are playing up against Dark Lords, which is really interesting. I don't know if Jaden Yubel has compensation and that's why he's doing it, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know why he's playing Jaden Yubel. Anyway, he Dark Lord Desires. He tries to get rid of our Red Dragon Archfiend, and he did negate the effect. But luckily, we have Assault Mode activate, so we chain that to it, and then we grab up ourselves the Assault Mode onto the field. Then we send Thunder Dragon Hawk to special summon our Dragon Roar. He has a Tez within the hand. Doesn't matter. Pop, pop. This pops our card. Destroys every other monster after damage calculation, right? So it even destroys our card. Then, since this was on the field and is sent to the graveyard, we can special summon a Thunder Dragon in from the deck into defense position. So obviously we grab up our Dragon Hawk. Then we send the Dark just because we can. Now we have 2 of them in the grave. Then we activate to grab up ourselves the Dragon Roar and swing in. He had nothing. I mean, there's no way that a Dark Lord player is playing Drowning. So there you go. That's how it works. That's why you run the Synchros as well. Let's hop into the next replay. Alright, so now we are facing up against a Seto Kaiba, meaning, obviously, it's Alternative Evolution. So we're going to be facing a Blue Eyes deck. So here we go. We start out with a really good hand, and during his end phase, we send our Thunder Dragon Dark to the grave. Then we set a card, activate Thunder Dragon Dark again. Now we have 2 in the grave, which is pretty freaking good for us. Psy Reflector, grab up Assault Beast, send to the graveyard, grab up Assault Mode activate, Psy Reflector activate, grab up our Synchro material for the Synchro Summon of Red Dragon Archfiend. Then we swing in, boom, pop it. He obviously sends a White Stone of the Ancients to the graveyard, which is fine. He grabs up his Blue Eyes White Dragon. Alternative Evolution activates. He tries to pop our card. We flip up the Assault Mode activate, negating that. Since we did chain it and we went first, there was no target for him. He activates Vermilion Dragon Mech, sends to the grave. He pops our card. And then, again, because of Assault Mode, the Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, we grab up ourselves the Red Dragon Archfiend. Pretty freaking good, right? So now we can beat over him, right? Now, let's do the rest of our combo. We activate that. We grab up our Dragon Dark. He has an enemy controller, meaning that we can't destroy the Vermilion Dragon Mech. He destroys it. We activate our Thunder Dragon 100 Thunders. And then we grab up ourselves the Dragon Hawk after our card is destroyed by battle. Then Baggy Sleeves activates. We activate Gold Sarcophagus. And you're probably wondering why I didn't activate to send a Thunder Dragon. Well, I want Reflector in 2 turns. And I really have basically the combo that I need within my hand to actually pull off a victory, right? So I don't really feel it necessary to send the only Thunder Dragon Hawk that I currently have in the deck and banish it, because I don't really want to get rid of really anything in my hand, right? Maybe getting rid of, or like returning some Thunder Dragon Darks would be good, but I feel like getting a guaranteed Reflector in 2 turns is a better option. It's kind of like a, hey, you're on a time limit until I can get out my Reflector, right? Which could bring out a myriad of things, right? So here we go. I discard to special summon. I discard to grab up the 100 Thunders. Then I turn him to defense position using our enemy controller, and we swing in. He activates Protector with Eyes of Blue, grabs up Dragon Spirit of White, banishes our middle card, which is our Wall of Disruption, which is fine. We grab up our second Dragon Hawk, and then we activate 100 Thunders to bring up our double Thunder Dragon Roar. We just normal summon the Reflector, enemy controller, because we did get a Baggy Sleeves, meaning we got 2 cards, so we picked up Reflector and the enemy controller, and then we enemy controllered his own card and swung in for lethal. So there you go. Pretty good. That shows how to use your Thunder Dragons effectively. Basically, you're just trying to put them into the grave and then get them right back out of the grave using your 100 Thunders. Yeah. And your Dragon Hawk. So you get your Dragon Hawk into the hand by banishing or getting destroyed using your Thunder Dragon Roar, and then you grab up your and then you banish or discard your Dragon Hawk to summon your Thunder Dragon Roar. And you can also discard the Thunder Dragon Roar to grab up any of the other cards, and then you'll see a replay where Thunder Dragon Dark is pretty good. So let's hop into the next one. Alright, so this is the duel I was thinking of where I actually used the secondary effect of Thunder Dragon Dark, which, to be honest, yeah, I didn't use Thunder Dragon Dark all that often, unless it was like to tribute or like to get cards in and out of my hand. But here we go. This shows the other effect of it. I did use it in several duels. I just didn't happen to show any or get any replays of it, because it is useful for grabbing up your Thunder Dragon's 100 Thunders, but we already started with it in our hand, so yeah. Alright, here we go. Our turn. We grab up our Thunder Dragon Hawk with our draw. Then we activate our Reflector and do the 1-card combo into the Red Dragon Archfiend. However, we are up against vampires, which is pretty interesting. They didn't have the best of starts, but let's see what we can do. Gold Sarcophagus, the Thunder Dragon Roar. Then we enemy controller for the Thunder Dragon Hawk, and see, this is where I actually activate it. Since we did tribute the card and it was on the field and then was sent to the graveyard, we are able to activate the effect and grab a card from the deck to the hand. So normally what you would do there is you could banish it to grab up your 100 Thunders if you need your 100 Thunders. So again, it is good. I just don't have a replay it where I actually really need it. And then we can just swing in and go for lethal pretty easily here. And so yeah, there's that. let's hop into a different replay. Alright, so here we are up against a Dr. Velian Crowler, which immediately to me says Ancient Gears. However, I don't know. They're playing balance, meaning it is not Ancient Gears, it is instead Triamids. So we're going to chain to the effect. We're going to chain the Thunder Dragon Dark, since there isn't really an effect that we need to chain it to in particular. Great, so now we have a Cosmic Cyclone. We're going to Cosmic Cyclone the back row. We're going to send our second Thunder Dragon Dark. Then we are going to activate Gold Sarcophagus to grab up ourselves the Dragon Hawk into defense position. Fortress, Dragon Hawk we activate by discarding to grab up our Thunder Dragon Roar. And then we Tribute Summon for our Thunder Dragon Dark. And then we swing in, pop, the Dancer, and then the Hunter. Boom, done. Let's move. Okay. So Triamid Cruiser pops, activates, he sends the card to the graveyard. He activates Triamid Dancer, that's fine. Guess what, it doesn't matter. We discard to grab up Thunder Dragon Hawk, then we discard Thunder Dragon Hawk to grab up Thunder Dragon Roar. Yes, you can do that. If you grab a Roar and there's a Thunder in, or a Dragon Hawk within the grave, you can literally just discard your guy to special summon it, basically. So it's pretty freaking useful. There you go, there's your beater. You swing in against stupid Triamids. You go bang, bang, bang for lethal. There you go. So, overall, let's hop back into the deck to tell you what I think about it. Alright, so overall, I really do enjoy this Thunder Dragon deck. I tried playing it just pure Thunder Dragons, and I didn't really get anything too great out of it. I did get a couple victories here and there, but like you've basically had to rely on them swinging and using Wall of Disruption, or you getting something like Enemy Controller on them. I did try to use Aloof Lupine, which works. Nope, I can't spell. No! Aloof Lupin, or however the frick it's supposed to say. You're supposed to say it. This guy, I tried using him because you can banish a card from your hand as well as from the deck, and I tried to use that as well as some of the other Thunder Dragon cards. As you can see here, we have like Thunder Dragon Discharge as well as Thunder Dragon Matrix and stuff like that, just to kind of get more cards, more Thunder Dragon cards within our hand and stuff like that. But ultimately, I felt like this is definitely the way to go. It beats things like Invokers, it beats things like Ancient Gears and stuff like that, simply due to Red Dragon Archfiend being able to beat over them, and Assault Mode Assault Mode being able to beat over them and stuff like that, which I feel like you definitely need now, seeing as how we don't have Beatdown to actually do that for us. So, there you go. I really like this deck. I think it's very fun. Definitely run with the triple Gold Sarcophagus and triple Dragon Hawk if you can, but if you can't, it's still pretty easy. This one is the only Dragon Hawk that you get from a box, and you get it from Dark Dimension, which is a very top tier box at the moment, with Invoked and Element Saber within it. And then the rest of these you get from battling, or dueling Mokuba Kaiba Dark Side of Dimensions. You get this from a level up reward. So there you go. And then the rest is pretty easy as well. I mean, this one you also get from level up. So there you go. Pretty fun deck. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think that you guys will as well. It's a little bit more of a big brain deck than what we normally play. But I definitely enjoy it. I think it's very fun, and it definitely has some really good combos. So if you did enjoy the episode, a like is very much appreciated, and if you want to see more content like this, just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.